ending it in style. 193 for 6 by the Lucknow Super Giants. And it is a very intimidating total, one might add, because look at the contributions. Kyle Mayers, 73 of 38, 2 fours, 7 sixes. Then you look at Nicholas Pooran. Both the West Indies overseas players have done really, really well for Lucknow Super Giants. 36 of 21. Then we had AB, not AB Tewatia or AB de Villiers, but Ayush Badoni. 18 of 7. Those sixes that he hit, absolutely magnificent. And Krishnappa Gautam, last ball, impact player.
That is what an impact player should do.
Yeah.
Come on and make an impact. Actual impact.
600 strike rate, so a very, very tall task for the Delhi Capitals ahead. And as before I get to Shane, Gargi and also Harshit, who's kind of nervous, let me tell you that both the teams have made their impact player changes.
Yes.
You will say that for Lucknow Super Giants, just one ball, Krishnappa Gautam, and he will be a very valuable asset on this wicket with the ball.
Yeah.
Because we saw the spinners getting some purchase. For Delhi, you already made your impact player change. Khalil Ahmed is out and Aman Khan, who is a batting all-rounder, a hard-hitting batting all-rounder, he is in. So will that provide the depth? Because now you are batting till number 8, yes. Delhi Capitals as far as it's concerned. So I'll come to the Delhi Capitals fan first here in Harshit. Total 194 chaseable, or do you think they leaked far too many runs?
I'd say both. They did leak runs. The death bowling was very, very unimpressive to say the least. Didn't bowl as per the field setting. I was disappointed with Sakaria in particular. But having said that, I still feel it's chaseable because I didn't see the batsmen struggle at any stage with regards to the playing conditions, and not like it changed a lot from what we saw, let's say, in the first couple of overs and right towards the end as well. I didn't see any change in the wicket per se, and I expect, because of that green tinge, I expect the wicket to stay firm, to stay true as it has. So yeah, I'd say definitely about 25 odd runs Delhi could have avoided with just poor bowling towards the end. Very predictable. Sakaria, bowling to Bedoni, coming over the wicket, trying a slow one in the slot. That's just bad bowling. But again, Delhi with the firepower I believe that they have, which does get tested now. Somebody like a Pal who comes in at number 5, 6. You also have an Aman Khan now. So it does give you, let's say, the batting strength to go chase this target, especially a top heavy side like Delhi. You got a Warner who can stay, also have that tempo throughout his innings, let's say, and then somebody like a Pal who can then finish it off. In the middle, yes, of course, you have somebody like a Riley Russo as well who will be tested. But if Delhi, and that's the thing with Delhi, they either there's no all-rounders in this side per se that way. They've got specialists. So those specialists as bowlers didn't really rise to the occasion, but the batters, they have the firepower, let's say, to chase this total, and they'll be tested today on a wicket which will I think it's a good wicket to be tested on as well. If your batting strength is ever to be tested, it's here.
Okay, so Gargi, 11 overs Lucknow were 98. Next 9 overs they have hit 95. So essentially looking at it, who are your key pacers here for Delhi? Khalil, Sakaria, Aksar, Kuldeep. But do you think David Warner somewhat, that's one of the comments which even our family members pointed out, do you think David Warner missed a trick with his bowling changes? Do you think he bowled the wrong bowlers from the wrong end? Or do you think Delhi have a perennial problem in IPL 2023, even though it's the first match? Do you think they have a problem in the death overs?
I mean, considering the conditions, I believe the bowlers did okay. Of course, they're going to get hit. It's the IPL, it's a batting game. And since, like we talked about in the last live, LSG had a good start, set apart KL Rahul, but everyone's been batting so consistently, and they took all the advantage of the loose balls and, got the runs exactly how they should have.
They should have. And Shane, now Kyle Mayers, I mean, we were all thinking, right, that he's he takes his own time to get going and then he will then explode. But then when he got through that power play stage, just about the power play stage, he opened up, he was hitting sixes at will. And Nicholas Pooran, Now, do you think with Mayers in such good form, when Quinton de Kock comes back, is it going to be easy for him to just slot back in? And do you think it'll be unfair on Mayers? Because remember, LSG had the same problem. Evan Lewis and Quinton de Kock. What are you going to do? Can you leave out a dasher like Lewis every single time? Or does Quinton de Kock fit in automatically? What do you think?
I in an ideal world, I would make Quinton sit out just a little bit. But based on what LSG did last year, I'm totally backing them to drop Kyle Mayers and not have him play another game. And Quinton will play. And truth be told, I understand the decision as well. Because Quinton, if he's there, should be a sure shot starter. Oh, last year I think he got that very good ton against KKR on the
Eliminator.
Yes, in the eliminator. No, not eliminator. It was in the virtual eliminator. During the because KKR didn't make the playoffs.
That superb catch.
That superb catch by Lewis and the Rinku knock. The Rinku knock. Oh, heartbreak. Anyway, the point is that I think with LSG, they will probably slot them in. And, I liked how they batted towards the end. I still think that their batting issue orders bit of a cause for concern. Again, today I felt Badoni was playing too few balls. And I felt that Deepak Hooda was kind of struggling, and I don't blame him. I don't think it was down to the conditions, because the conditions were fine. I think he got bogged down.
Yeah.
And even later on today with, they were going well towards the death. But I think they could have maybe gotten a few more runs if the post power play. Mayers though, I loved watching him bat.
Exactly.
Did you think Badoni did not have enough time?
Yes. Last year he was at his best when he was batting at 3.
Right.
So he would be explosive.
He waned.
He waned once they started going.
Even before that, didn't he?
He waned as soon as they started fiddling with the order. Same thing, by the way, happened to Deepak Hooda.
Deepak Hooda, yes.
And the same thing happened to Marcus Stoinis, because in fact it was to fit in Stoinis as well. They were unable to figure out where to bat him. One match they used him as a finisher. One match they used him as a number 3. So it was chopping and changing of a next level. Like I remember there used to be this one football manager. He'd be well known to any football fans. He went by the name of Claudio Ranieri.
Oh yes.
So Ranieri during his days at Chelsea and even prior was known as the Tinker Man. I think LSG took inspiration from that, because they're tinkering everything in their batting lineup and it doesn't bode well. In fact, if I talked about before, I was saying that I think they have 3 batsmen for 2 spots. That is a problem, because you're always going to be fitting in one square peg into one round hole.
Yeah.
And take nothing away from how they batted. Mayers was exceptional. He was hitting sixes like he was facing a bowling machine.
I think we should especially talk about the intent that LSG batters have shown today.
Really?
Okay.
My orange cap pick didn't.
Yeah, he did. But again, Gargi, coming to that same point, see, apart from Mayers and Puran, if you are the LSG captain, I think you will be worried with number 3, number 4 and also number 7. How do you fit in 3 players who are playing a kind of a similar role? And supposing what happens is, if you push them up the order or you shuffle them around, their confidence wanes. Absolutely. What do you do then in that situation?
I mean, cricket is such a tricky game, especially when you're batting out of your comfort zone. And you've been told just go out and bat at a position that you're not used to. It does mess with your mental aspect. You prepare yourself, and then that does not happen. Obviously, that's going to meddle with your batting. I think that's what we do.
You think all the team management talks, all that, you'll have to be flexible and all that, but does it really have an impact on a player? Because you played with with state teams, you played with all the age group teams. There'll be a lot of talk on this. Can a batter really be flexible in his mind? Okay, I have to do this, but can he actually do it? He or she actually do it?
See, IPL is a franchise, it's a franchise, it's a 2-month thing, it's a temporary...
it's a break from the grind.
Yeah, right. But when you're, it's a sort of a preparation. When young players are coming in, domestic players who are getting a big stage to show off their talent, but things like these meddle with their careers.
They meddle with their careers, and see, this is their careers. Ayush Badoni, like you said, he waned, Harshit. Like he waned when his batting position was all over the place.
Yes.
Now, what do you do when you have a similar player in Deepak Hooda?
Can I add something here? What is even more confusing when I look at that batting order is that we were talking about Deepak Hooda, Marcus Stoinis and Ayush Badoni being either 3 or 4, right? Hooda came in at 3, then they sent Krunal Pandya at number 4. Why?
Left hand, right hand?
No, but then you had Mayers. You had Mayers already, no?
Exactly.
So that's two left-handers.
But Mayers was out by the time I think Krunal came in.
No.
Right?
No.
No? He wasn't.
I don't think so.
Let's see the fall of wickets.
Yeah, I think
down.
100 for 2. I think Mayers left at that point in time because he had scored the bulk of the runs in that period.
And by the way, even if you have to do left hand, right hand, it has to be for maybe a position you're used to. Like say for instance, I was giving you the KKR example that if you had a fit Shreyas Iyer and Nitish Rana, then they would alternate 3 or 4 based on which opener got out. Because 3 or 4 isn't that much of a difference. But Krunal has mostly been number 5, 6. Number 5 also sometimes being generous. I remember when he used to be in MI, he used to be coming into bat after Pollard sometimes.
7, 8.
7, 8 he used to come into bat. Yeah.
You just look at the dream team of MI of 2020. Okay, you had De Kock, you had Rohit Sharma, you had Ishan Kishan, Surya Kumar Yadav, Hardik Pandya, Kyron Pollard,
Then
and
sometimes
then
Krunal would come in. So that's the thing. You're batting him now at 4.
What if you swap like Krunal Pandya and Ayush Badoni?
Yes, I would do that.
That's a very tough question.
I would, because again, I think Huda and Badoni are your proper middle order players here. Unfortunately, that means that Stoinis will have to apply himself, because Stoinis also, he's a big hitter, but he takes a little time. You need to give him time in the middle. In fact, I remember his best season came for DC when he was batting at number 4.
Yep.
So if he was batting at 4, it gave him enough time. He'd stick around till the death, then go bang bang.
2020 season.
Yes.
The 20. But again, this is a catch-22, what Gargi's pointed out. Ayush Badoni or Deepak Huda or Krunal Pandya. Okay, Krunal Pandya, I think it's a joker in the pack.
Marcus
Stoinis. But I'm more concerned with the conundrum of Deepak Huda and Ayush Badoni, because both are playing the same role essentially.
Absolutely.
Badoni and Huda, they can hang around and then they can go for the big hits.
Exactly.
I think Huda comes in with that reputation a little more than Badoni. I think there's still more of Badoni that needs to be seen.
The difference is Huda, when he made his name in the IPL, was as a lower order hitter.
Exactly.
But now he's changed up his game to the point where he's essentially a middle order power hitter. So you have to be playing him at either 3 or 4, ideal position. Badoni too, last year when people were going rave about him, was batting at mostly 3. So ideally that is your fixed.
No,
LSG is same.
I think what they could have done today is sent in Badoni ahead of Pandya. I think the swap today should have been Pandya and Badoni.
Correct.
As far as batting positions are concerned, because I think with Huda we've heard that in the international circuits as well, that he's coming in too late for the power that he possesses and the fact that he needs those first
few balls.
This is about 10 to 12 balls to get going, and we've seen that he possesses the talent. He's won India a couple of matches, if I'm not wrong. In New Zealand it was,
and Ireland also, remember?
Ireland too.
New Zealand more with the ball.
New Zealand more with the ball. Ireland, he scored that
century as well. So I think that's something that LSG are also trying in terms of sending him up the order, give him that sort of confidence and give him that time to get going. Didn't happen today, obviously. Maybe,
but they need to stick with that.
Exactly, but because Pandya is Krunal is so used to batting so low in the batting order. What doesn't make sense to send him up there unless you're actually looking at striking a left hand right hand combination. Barring that, I see no reason, because again his nerves are well equipped. I would say now they're well strengthened to be taking on pressure situations, especially in the IPL.
And I'll add, if you have to play left hand, right hand, then Nicholas Puran's a better option. If you have to send him up, he is someone who bats higher.
If you swap them, like Krunal Pandya for Ayush Badoni, then also another question comes up, is because you can clearly see that Ayush Badoni is doing well at this.
But this is the first time he's done well in this position. And even here, I would say that he's a better person who's suited to playing the longer innings. He's not someone who will strike at 120, 130. If he plays long, he'll be striking at 140.
Right.
But that's his best position. Here, you could see that he was rushed, because even when he got out, he was going for a premeditated slog that ended up basically hitting the bat handle.
I like what Tripti Dimri is saying here. Day of left-handers today. We saw Rajpaksha fire, got that 50. Arshdeep with 3 wickets in the previous match. Kyle Mayers with a superb knock, just about 200 he was striking at, and Nicholas Puran as well.
It's good news for Delhi Capitals,
because you've got David Warner, you've got Akshar Patel
and Riley Russo.
You've got Riley Russo. Yeah.
You've got 3 left-handers and Warner's opening.
And then maybe there's a Unadkat as well on the other side.
Not got to the bat, I am not so sure.
The other side with the ball.
With the ball,
yeah. So you never know.
But do you think, Warner...
But not the day, by the way, for Kuldeep Yadav.
Do you think with Warner, Shaw opening, could they have taken the gamble and promoted Marsh.
I don't think it was required. I don't think.
No, then it ruins your middle order.
Exactly.
Marsh and
it's
Shaw.
not required.
I think they still need those anchors, Sarfaraz, Prithvi. They are important to that
Yeah,
batting lineup.
do you think Prithvi is an anchor?
No.
He can, like, when you've got left-handers like that.
See, I'll disagree with that because I don't think Shaw is an anchor. But the problem is, you can play Marsh atop the order. But the problem with Shaw is he's an opening bat only.
Yeah.
That's his job. He'll come get you quick fire 30,
Especially in a
40.
match like this where you're chasing more than 190, you require Shaw to fire. You require him right there, right up the order, make most of the power play, get Delhi to, let's say, about 70 odd runs if that can possibly achieved. And
Well, we forgot one thing about the whole Mayers versus De Kock debate is that with Kyle Mayers, you have a bowling option also.
Yes.
So, if his bowling is also effective and he bats like this for the next 2-3 games, I think Quinny is warming the bench for a bit.
Or supposing now if he's filled this void, my take is if Mayers is doing that job, Stoinis sits out and you get Quinton de Kock in. Maybe that is the way, because see, Stoinis as a bowler, his fortunes have waned big time.
Yeah, as a bowler, he tends to go for a lot of runs. I remember last year, Rinku of all people had taken him to the cleaners.
So that is why if Mayers is fulfilling the role, then I think Stoinis could very well warm the bench when Quinton de Kock comes back.
Yes, it's quite
So
likely.
that is the way I look at it. We'll come about the team called Akash Bharadwaj was saying, do you see this lineup of DC without a pace bowler of overseas? Or Nortje will be walking?
Nortje will be coming
absolute walking.
in. Did you see how badly they were missing him today?
Yeah, absolutely.
Khalil and Nortje.
And see, Nokia, besides his experience, his pace is his X factor.
And one.
So you'll any day want to have a bowler who comes in with express pace.
Not many people are giving Nortje his due because 155 plus at the stumps. And remember, it was he and Kagiso Rabada in 2020 that
Delhi
shattered the entire blueprint that MS
Delhi,
Dhoni had
in fact, were very, very, again, Delhi had very difficult choices to make. They had that Pant versus Shreyas Iyer conundrum. Then they also had that conundrum of choosing one between Rabada, who's doing very well, alongside Nokia.
And they somehow surprisingly went with Nokia.
Who was still, making his name. Let's say that was his first season with the Delhi Capitals, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
So again, a big call being taken over there, but let's hope it's the right call in the longer run.
But man, he's getting a lot of swing, Kyle
Mayers is getting
both in the air and off the deck as well. So it promises to be a very, very tense chase. 194.
Are we doing match predictions?
Before we do that,
because
remember, we questions did not there. I think people still want to know who the newest family member amongst us is.
Gargi.
Well, why don't you?
The stage is theirs.
I am Gargi Raut. So I've only joined the Sports Today family today, and I'm so excited and so glad to be working with all of you. It's a fun crew, and here we are.
Here we are, and the only dampener for her is, if I have to add, she's an RCB fan.
You can't say that already.
I can say it. 15 years and counting, I can say it.
Yeah.
So
And now the skipper himself is he's gone ahead and said, "Is sala cup nahi."
better not. It's become a unfortunate thing, unfortunately. So it's going to be a very, very tight chase. It's not going to be straightforward. Delhi will have to really, really bat well. And because now they have depth till number 8, I think if I have to go by predictions, I think LSG are winning this, but by a very close margin.
Oh, really?
Yes, very close margin.
Do you not think, with the batting lineup that DC have, they could not pull this off?
They can, but
I think Shane has a lot to say.
I think it's a very closely poised match because it's a very good track. I think a lot will depend for Delhi how the top 3 fare.
Absolutely.
Because I think when it comes to Sarfaraz and this thing, people are blown away by Sarfaraz, but we tend to forget the fact that a lot of his good form came in
red ball.
Exactly, first class cricket, not white ball cricket, not list A or T20s. It was red ball cricket. I think honestly I would give DC a very slight edge, only for the reason that I'm not that convinced also by LSG's bowling yet.
Exactly. Why? When I look at that bowler, and when I said at the start of the show that I still feel Delhi can get to that total, that's because you don't have a very intimidating bowling attack looking at
Again, see, you've opened with Mayers, which was a bit of a surprise to everyone. He's sharing the new ball with Unadkat. Again, Unadkat, a domestic legend, but in white ball cricket, in red ball cricket.
Red ball.
Not a white ball. In recent years in IPL, his reputation has taken a hammering.
He just had one good season,
And bowling
that
too.
was 2017. That's it. He had 22 wickets that season for.
You know
Rising
why he had a
Pune
very
Super
good season? Because he didn't have to face Dhoni, no?
Yes. Left armers and MS Dhoni. It's always a match made in hell for the bowler.
So Unadkat, that was his really good year, I remember. And besides that, I think what really did him in was that one year where RR went crazy money bags on him.
12 crores.
Yeah, and then he didn't have a great season. Then they released him onto the auction pool and bought him back for a cheaper price. So I think that kind of did his confidence in number, and truth be told, doesn't really have the variations for, you know. In fact, his variation is his problem because he'll keep bowling that one cutter. Dhoni, I remember, would wait for the cutter and bang. Wait for the cutter and bang. So it's pretty predictable. So now is the best time for him to be a little effective because get a little bit of swing. I mean, Mayers was getting some crazy
And he
swing.
almost lured Warner into a false shot. So it's got to be
Again, I don't find LSG's bowling, I'm so sorry to cut you, but I don't find LSG's bowling lineup that intimidating.
I will not ask Harshad. He knows. He's DC.
No, it's not going to be one-way traffic or anything like that. This is definitely going down to the 19th over or the last over for that matter. But I do expect Delhi with that firepower that they have, the likes of Russo, with the likes of Marsh, with the likes of Rovman Pal. I think they should be able to get this total.
And remember, Russo scored 100 against India in Indore in that third T20I. So he's got a good record.
But Riley, I think, is going to be the player with the, his neck on the chopping block. If once Nortje is back, so I think he'd have to put in a few good performances. And make.
But
really
even
make
then, I think he was limited time. Mitch Marsh. Again, it's got to be between these because one thing's for certain that Nortje is a straight walk-in into the side.
And you can't. You're neither
Your
dropping
bowling
Warner.
attack actually revolves around him.
You're neither dropping Warner nor Rovman.
Yeah.
Right. And what do you expect? Like, not expect. What do you think DC should do at this point to clinch this match?
I think they'll need a good opening stand and then Marsh to come and do Marsh things. Basically play how he was playing against India in the ODIs. I know he was opening then, but truth be told, he's playing like this since 2021 when they won the World Cup in UAE, was it? Yeah. He's been playing like that since then. He does that, then this is an easy chase because again, I don't see this pitch having too much. Early swing with the new ball, of course,
That's okay. Okay, you do see the ball doing a little bit now, but you saw that with Kyle Mayers as well. He wasn't like gung-ho from the word go. He took his time as well. So that's fine if the runs don't come in the first couple of overs. Again, long way to go in the match.
Harshad's poetic summary. He wasn't gung-ho from the word go. I mean, that was in meter. So
anyways, what's our predictions? I said DC.
I said LSG.
But he says DC, now your call.
If I have to go by Gargi's favorite thing now, a good start. That good start is needed. And I think they've already got a good start.
They're getting it.
I mean, it's all about the first 5-6 overs. If you can put enough pressure on the bowling team, you've got the match.
Sure.
True. I think
it just messes with their, it's all.
And by the way, Unadkat has given away 11 runs in 4 balls, so the pressure, he's definitely feeling the heat.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And David Warner,
and
an IPL legend.
Bonafide legend.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yep.
Anyway.
So, do join us for what will be a very thrilling chase. It's not going to be a one-sided encounter. It's going to be a very tense encounter. Tap that bell icon so that you know when we go live. And like us on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter as well. From all of us here, Nandri, see you at the match end.